Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. This is a border fortress of the Jeomar Empire. We can be considered to have entered the Jeomar Empire once we pass through this place. Xiao Li nodded and said, "Back then, I fled from this place when I was chased by the Misty Cloud sect. It is really unexpected that I would return to this spot 3 years later." The wild smile on Xiao Yang's face was slowly withdrawn. He turned his head toward Lin Yang and others to speak with a grin. That smile had a nostalgic feeling to it. Xiao Yang also laughed softly. His long hand was extended from his sleeves and a glow flashed from the serene sea storage ring. An enormous dark black heavy ruler appeared with a flash. I wonder if there is anyone within the Jeomar Empire who is still currently able to recall this image. The heavy Xian ruler was placed on Xiao Yang's back as he patted it and laughed. Its large size was nearly as tall as Xiao Yang's height. Lin Yang and the others watched that black-robed, young man, who was carrying a black ruler with his hands behind his back, as he stood on the head of the tiger-eagle beast. They suddenly vaguely sensed a sharp killing intent gradually being emitted from the body of this usually gentle fellow. The few of them exchanged glances. In their hearts, all of them quietly mentioned that the Jeomar Empire would become a little chaotic because of this fellow return. "Everyone, increase our speed." Xiao Yang gently waved his hand as his voice clearly resounded by everyone's ears. That tone, which had always been as gentle as a breeze, gained an additional anxiety at this moment. An acknowledgement sounded in the sky upon hearing Xiao Yang's orders. Immediately the 10+ flying beasts flapped their flesh wings amid some roars, carrying along a wild wind as they rushed toward the distant fortress. Although the distance appeared to extremely far, Xiao Yang and the others were already in close proximity of the fortress after less than 10 minutes of straight flying by the flying beasts. Xiao Yang waved his hand as they gradually approached this fortress. The flying units in the sky immediately paused. All the gazes swept toward the figure of the young man, who was carrying a heavy ruler in front of them. They were at least 1,000 meters from the ground, and the people below would likely only vaguely see some small black spots if they looked up to such a height from below. However, with Xiao Yang's eyesight, he could clearly absorb all the activity on the ground into his eyes. Xiao Yang's gaze swept over the huge bright red characters on the gate of the fortress. The familiar name caused Xiao Yang's entire body to appear as though it was filled with electricity. A numb feeling writhed within his blood. Zhengui Pass. It has been 3 years since they parted. There might be little change to the city, but the people have already changed drastically. Xiao Yang sighed softly as he whispered, "Third brother, it seems that something is wrong. This Zhengui Pass seems to be a little too quiet today. According to what I know, this is the largest fortress within 50 kilometers of this place. There would be some hustle and bustle even at night." Now, however, Xiao Li suddenly frowned and spoke somewhat doubtfully while Xiao Yang was sighing emotionally in his heart. Xiao Yang was also startled when he heard this. His gaze swept over the silent fortress and surprise also flashed in his eyes. "Indeed, when I was leaving from this place back, then there was extremely great human traffic here. What happened today? Don't tell me that someone already learned about the news of your return." Lin Xiao Ya also extended his head over and asked, "How can this be possible? The Black Corner region and the Jeomar Empire are so far apart. No one in the Jeomar Empire should be aware about any news regarding me." Xiao Yang shook his head and said, "The city seems to have traces of a fight. Moreover, there are quite a number of strong people gathered in a single location." Medusa, who had been silent, suddenly spoke in a faint voice. Xiao Yang was startled when he heard Medusa's words. He immediately shut his eyes slowly and his powerful spiritual strength spread out like a torrent from between his eyebrows. Finally, it swiftly swept over the entire fortress below. Xiao Li and the others ceased speaking when they saw Xiao Yang shut his eyes. They quietly waited for him to investigate. Xiao Yang opened his eyes once again some time later. His gaze turned to the middle of the fortress. An unexpected smile surfaced on the corner of his mouth as he softly spoke, "This fortress is indeed not quite peaceful. Moreover, it is really unexpected that I am able to meet some familiar people just upon my return to the Jeomar Empire. Familiar people. Xiao Li was stunned. Commander Mu Tai, I know that you have broken through to the Do Wang class recently. However, a person who has yet to even stabilize his strength in the Do Wang class dares to be this arrogant. Meng Li curled his lips in disdain. He immediately cried out loud, Elder Yun Fan, please intervene and get rid of this person. Meng Li's voice had just sounded when a rushing wind sound suddenly appeared. Immediately over 10 white-robed human figures flashed and appeared on the surrounding tall walls of the front yard. The person at the front was an old man with a calm water-like face. A pressuring atmosphere covered the entire city governor's mansion upon his appearance. Yun Fan, an elder of the Misty Cloud sect. Mu Tai's expression was ugly as he looked at the old man who had appeared. A gloominess involuntarily surged in his heart. He had been lingering around the peak of the Do Ling class for so many years, and had only luckily broke through to the Do Wang class not long ago. If one was to discuss his strength, he could not even be truly considered a one-star Do Wang. How would he be able to contend with a Misty Cloud sect's elder whose strength had reached that of a 3-star Do Wang? Yun Fan narrowed his old eyes. His expression grew increasingly colder. An incomparably powerful Do Qi slowly surged out from his body, and the pressuring strength that was created from the Do Qi caused quite a number of people in the yard to hurriedly step back. Mu Tai's expression also gradually became solemn in the face of Yun Fan's powerful Do Qi aura. He withdrew a huge axe from his storage ring. The Do Qi in his body was circulated to its limit. However, just as the anxious swords-drawn atmosphere was about to be broken by an intense battle between strong Do Wangs was about to erupt, a clear laugh slowly transmitted from the sky. The laughter lingered within the yard and did not disappear for a long time. It has been 3 years since I left. I didn't expect that the Misty Cloud sect to become this arrogant. It really greatly exceeded my expectations. Looks like old dog Yin Shan has quite the wild ambition. However, everyone's expression changed a little when their gazes looked at the 10+ enormous flying beast lingering in the sky. Who were these uninvited guests? Mu Tai also looked at the flying magical beast in the sky in alarm. He hurriedly waved his hand as he felt lost in this situation. The large group that was gathered behind him swarmed forward and surrounded him. Their gazes were cautious as they looked at those uninvited guests in the sky. Everyone isn't people from the Jioma Empire, right? Yun Fan's expression was dark and cold as he looked at the 10+ magical beast in the sky. He coldly said, "This is our Misty Cloud sect's issue. I will advise all of you not to meddle in another's business. It is indeed the Misty Cloud sect. May I know just who you are?" The old me is Yun Fan, an elder of the Misty Cloud sect. Our sect leader is Yin Shan. Have you heard of him? Yun Fan finally suppressed the shock within his heart sometime later, and cupped his hands to the black-robed, young man who was occupying the leader's spot. His voice was much more courteous and careful compared to before. Moreover, his intention of bringing out Yin Shan's name was undoubtedly to cause these people of unknown origin to feel some fear. Yin Shan. I have heard of him. I also have quite the connection with him. The black-robed, young man smiled. The corner of his mouth contained a teasing look. Yun Fan immediately sighed in relief when he heard this. Since the other party had heard of Yun Shan's name, it was likely that they knew that he was an extremely powerful Do Zone expert. The teasing look on the corner of the black-robed, young man's mouth also widened when he saw Yun Fan's relaxed manner. He slowly took 2 steps forward. When he moved forward, Mu Tai's and Yun Fan's groups hurriedly took a step back and looked at him with great caution. Xiao Yan turned his head over slightly. He threw his gaze on Mu Tai, who was being heavily protected by his subordinates. The skin on Mu Tai's head became numb when he saw the former's eyes looking over. The arm which was tightly grabbing the enormous axe trembled. He could sense that he would likely not have the slightest chance to live if this mysterious black-robed, young man were to attack him. You are Xiao Yan. A voice that contained disbelief amid some shock was transmitted from Mu Tai's mouth. You really Xiao Yan? Xiao Yan was dumbfounded when he heard this. He grinned and said, "Is there anyone else within the Jioma Empire who dares to call himself Xiao Yan?" Brother Xiao Yan, no matter what, I have to thank you for intervening today. Otherwise, it is likely that Meng Li's trick would have succeeded. Mu Tai spoke sincerely, as he cupped his hands toward Xiao Yang with a serious expression. Xiao Yang smiled and waved his hand. After which he crossed his fingers and said softly, I have not been to the Jioma Empire for 3 years. Can I get Big Brother Mu Tai to tell me about the current situation within Jioma Empire? The Jioma Empire has been extremely eventful during these few years. All of these matters were caused by the Misty Cloud sect. Mu Tai knit his brows and sighed. He immediately said to Xiao Yang, it is going to be a long story. If Brother Xiao Yang is not in a hurry to leave, please enter the house and allow me to tell you in detail. Big Sister Ya Fei. Xiao Yang was startled when he heard this name, which was stored deep within his mind. A warm smile immediately surfaced on the corner of his mouth. It was all thanks to the Primer clan, and her intervention back then, when he was chased by the Misty Cloud sect, that he was able to gain the opportunity to flee. Her favor toward him was something that Xiao Yang would never forget. It is really unexpected that she is able to control the Primer clan within her hands. I have somewhat underestimated her in the past. Xiao Yang rubbed his nose and softly laughed. He clearly understood just how difficult it was for a woman, especially one who did not have extraordinary talent in terms of Do Chi training, to control the people of an entire clan in this world that was ruled by Do Chi. Mu Tai smiled. He appeared to randomly inquire, Brother Xiao Yang's return, it is likely that there is going to be quite a big activity, right? I am only opposing the Misty Cloud sect. Xiao Yang spoke with a faint smile. His gaze drifted toward Mu Tai as he suddenly said, does Big Brother Mu Tai has any information regarding Yin Shan? Mu Tai was stunned when he heard this. He immediately shook his head in embarrassment as he said, how can I understand an expert of that level? However, I am occasionally able to gather something from the rumors among the elders in the clan. It is likely that the current Yin Shan is even stronger than he was 3 years ago. Sect leader Yun Yunha. Yin Shan stripped her of her position of sect leader not long after you left the Jioma Empire. After which, she no longer managed the issues within the sect. Currently, all the authority within the Misty Cloud sect is managed by Yin Shan. Mu Tai voiced his thoughts. Xiao Yang quietly nodded his head after hearing this. Somewhere deep within his heart, he sighed in relief without realizing it. These current actions of the Misty Cloud sect can be mostly credited to Yin Shan. Moreover, by looking at what happened in the Zhengui Pass this time, it is likely that the Misty Cloud sect will begin to have some large activity during this period of time. Mu Tai slowly said, if the matter here were to spread to the capital, it is likely that there may be an uproar even in the imperial family. Looking at all of this activity, it seemed that the situation that was written in a letter the elders in the clan had given me is true. What situation? Xiao Yang was startled as he asked. Brother Xiao Yang, are you planning to head to the capital? Mu Tai hurriedly stood up and asked when he saw Xiao Yang doing the same. We are pressed for time. I cannot stay here for long. I will come and chat with Big Brother Mu Tai once everything is settled. Xiao Yang smiled, nodded, and gave his reply. Mu Tai could not open his mouth to retain them when he heard this. He could only nod his head and personally send Xiao Yang and the others out of the hall. Xiao Yang and the others flashed upon leaving the hall as they rushed to the tiger eagle beast, which had remained in the air. Xiao Yang stood on its enormous head and cupped his hands toward Mu Tai below. Being the host, Mu Tai arranged the seating arrangements for Xiao Yang and his group within a spacious hall in the city governor's mansion before he returned to his own seat. At the same time, he ordered the female servants to serve tea, appearing quite thoughtful. It is really unexpected that Brother Xiao Yang's strength has actually reached this level 3 years after we parted. Mu Tai lifted his teacup and took a sip before he laughed. His gaze immediately swept over Xiao Li, Lin Yang, and the others who were beside Xiao Yang, without leaving a trace. He felt that his heart was somewhat jumpy. He clearly understood that the most frightening thing of Xiao Yang's return this time around was not his extraordinary strong self, but these strong people whom he had gathered from some unknown place. Any one of these people who were seated here would likely be sufficient to contend with the 10 strong of the empire. Xiao Yang smiled, but did not continue to be entangled with this topic. He mused for a moment before slowly speaking, Big Brother Mu Tai, it seems that the Jioma Empire isn't very peaceful these few years. Mu Tai laughed bitterly when he heard this. He sighed, it is indeed not very peaceful. All of this tension is caused by the Misty Cloud sect. Oh? Xiao Yang lifted his eyebrows. Mu Tai drank a sip of tea and moistened his throat. He seemed to be sorting out his words. A moment later, he opened his mouth to speak. Within less than half a month after you have left the Jioma Empire, the Misty Cloud sect had changed its aloof style of the past. Not only did it recruit disciples in large numbers, but it also showed traces of scattering its disciples to all of the key cities within the empire. It is likely that the imperial family and the three large clans had sensed these little actions of theirs. However, due to Yin Shan's frightening strength, there was no one who dared say anything. After this, the Misty Cloud sect has also become more and more arrogant. Mu Tai's gaze secretly looked at Xiao Yang after speaking until this point. He hesitated for a moment before speaking. After that, the Misty Cloud sect began the extermination of the Xiao clan. This matter caused an uproar within the empire back then, but it did not pose any hindrance to the Misty Cloud sect. The hand which Xiao Yang used to hold the teacup tightened slightly. His dark black eyes slowly became narrowed as a faint, cold glint flashed through them. Mu Tai was startled when he saw the calm manner of Xiao Yang. He immediately understood it. It was likely that this young man in front of him was already aware of this, the Primer clan. Xiao Yang nodded his head. It seemed that he must go and find Haibudong in order to learn the whereabouts of Big Brother and the others. Cuckoo. Currently the Primer clan is already completely in the control of Ya Fei Xiaojia. TSK, this woman may be young, but that ability of hers is something that even our clan's elders have quietly praised repeatedly. Within 3 short years, she has turned the Primer clan into the top of the 3 large clans. People have no choice but to submit to her. Mu Tai smiled and explained some more. TL Xiaojia, young lady of a powerful, the rich clan. Big sister Ya Fei. Xiao Yang was startled when he heard this name, which was stored deep within his mind. A warm smile immediately surfaced on the corner of his mouth. It was all thanks to the Primer clan and her intervention back then, when he was chased by the Misty Cloud sect, that he was able to gain the opportunity to flee. Her favor toward him was something that Xiao Yang would never forget. It is really unexpected that she is able to control the Primer clan within her hands. I have somewhat underestimated her in the past. Xiao Yang rubbed his nose and softly laughed. He clearly understood just how difficult it was for a woman, especially one who did not have extraordinary talent in terms of Do Qi training, to control the people of an entire clan in this world that was ruled by Do Qi. Mu Tai smiled. He appeared to randomly inquire, Brother Xiao Yang's return, it is likely that there is going to be quite a big activity, right? I am only opposing the Misty Cloud sect. Xiao Yang spoke with a faint smile. His gaze drifted toward Mu Tai as he suddenly said, does Big Brother Mu Tai has any information regarding Yin Shan? Mu Tai was stunned when he heard this. He immediately shook his head in embarrassment as he said, how can I understand an expert of that level? However, I am occasionally able to gather something from the rumors among the elders in the clan. It is likely that the current Yin Shan is even stronger than he was 3 years ago. Xiao Yang was also helpless in the face of these basically useless words. His gaze looked at the tiny ripple spreading within his cup. A noble, graceful, beautiful face suddenly flashed and appeared in his mind. The various angry smiles between his forehead caused Xiao Yang's mood to suddenly become chaotic. Xiao Yang raised his eyebrows and rolled his tongue a couple of times. Finally, he uttered a name he had resisted for 3 years. What about Yun Yun? It seems that she is the leader of the Misty Cloud sect, right? Sect leader Yun Yun Ha. Yin Shan stripped her of her position of sect leader not long after you left the Jioma Empire. After which, she no longer managed the issues within the sect. Currently, all the authority within the Misty Cloud sect is managed by Yin Shan. Mu Tai voiced his thoughts. Xiao Yan quietly nodded his head after hearing this. Somewhere deep within his heart, he sighed in relief without realizing it. These current actions of the Misty Cloud sect can be mostly credited to Yin Shan. Moreover, by looking at what happened in the Zhengui Pass this time, it is likely that the Misty Cloud sect will begin to have some large activity during this period of time. Mu Tai slowly said, if the matter here were to spread to the capital, it is likely that there may be an uproar even in the imperial family. Looking at all of this activity, it seemed that the situation that was written in a letter the elders in the clan had given me is true. What situation? Xiao Yang was startled as he asked. Mu Tai's face was tensed. He placed his teacup on the table. It was a moment later before he spoke in the deep voice, it is likely that the Misty Cloud sect wishes to attack our 3 large clans. Xiao Yang knit his brows. Did the Misty Cloud sect really intend to eliminate all the factions within the Jiao Ma Empire? Of course, it is currently uncertain whether they will attack our Mu clan and the Nalan clan. However, there is one thing that is certain. The Misty Cloud sect will definitely start off with the Primer clan within a short period of time. Mu Tai spoke was a solemn expression. Why? Xiao Yang nodded slightly. From the looks of the situation, he needed to hurry to the capital as soon as possible. Otherwise, not only would the Primer clan end up in the same trouble as the Xiao clan, but the odds would also be against those remaining members of the Xiao clan, who were under their protection. Currently, the capital should be in a turbulent storm. That place is far too close to the Misty Cloud sect. The place would definitely be extremely chaotic should anything erupt there. Big brother Mu Tai, I hope that you will keep my return to the Jiao Ma Empire a secret. Moreover, you should tell those subordinates of yours not to leak any information. Otherwise, should it end up spreading to the ears of the Misty Cloud sect, it is very likely that they will bring forward their plans and increase their defenses. Xiao Yang stood up from the chair, turned his head to Mu Tai and spoke in a solemn voice. No problem. Mu Tai nodded without hesitation. He said, for insurance, I will delay reporting what happened at the border to the imperial family for a couple of days. Otherwise, they will definitely learn of your return. In that case, thank you very much. Xiao Yang cupped his hands together and smiled. Brother Xiao Yang, are you planning to head to the capital? Mu Tai hurriedly stood up and asked. When he saw Xiao Yang doing the same. We are pressed for time. I cannot stay here for long. I will come and chat with big brother Mu Tai once everything is settled. Xiao Yang smiled, nodded, and gave his reply. Mu Tai could not open his mouth to retain them when he heard this. He could only nod his head and personally send Xiao Yang and the others out of the hall. Xiao Yang and the others flashed upon leaving the hall as they rushed to the tiger eagle beast, which had remained in the air. Xiao Yang stood on its enormous head and cupped his hands toward Mu Tai below. Xiao Yang smiled and nodded. He waved his hand and the tiger eagle beast let out a low roar. Immediately, it carried a wild wind as it swiftly rose higher into the air and eventually transformed into a black spot that disappeared on the horizon. Mu Tai sighed softly as he watched Xiao Yang and the others disappeared into the horizon. He knew that the already turbulent capital might well be turned completely upside down with the arrival of Xiao Yang's group. Episode 52 Part